Blksports980 is sponsored by Fresh Rose Clothing. Check out the new collection at freshrose.co.
You are now tuned to the other side with BOK Sports 980.
Welcome back. You are now tuned into the other side of sports, BOK Sports 980. I'm your host Laws in the building. Got the crew, D, Jeff, Aaron, and we rocking, dog. We got a lot on tap for today. Gonna talk some March Madness, some basketball, some football. Dog, what that Snowmageddon, dog? Snowmageddon?
No. It was an ice storm more than anything, bro. It was ice. That's what I had up here. It was just a lot of ice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. They were sicing the joint way more than what actually happened.
That's right. You already know.
But I think the weatherman is the only job where you can be like very undecisive and still like
have a job.
Yeah.
Dog, you can be completely wrong, dog. You can be completely off base. This guy said 5 to 8 inches, and it was barely 2.
Nah, dog.
You know what I'm saying? and they just be like, they just try to do all these caveats, or they say all these different things. So if it ends up a certain way, then they look like they was right. So they're like, might be a lot of moisture in the air. That could cause, for it to change over the rain, and then that'll make it light. It might not be as much, so we don't know. We're gonna see in the morning. But I'm like, come on, dog. Is it going to snow? Or is it not going to snow?
I feel like they've been using that to stimulate the economy, sort of. Because everybody runs out to the grocery store, snatch everything up. The end of the season, all the salt and the sand and the shovels get sold out. I feel like this year is kind of like a ploy to get rid of like the end of the year sale kind of thing.
That's right. You already know.
It might be, dog. It might be. Because this jump, the roads was bad in the morning. Don't get it twisted. I don't think anybody should have been driving or trying to be out there on the roads in the morning. But after like 10:30, 11 o'clock, jump clean and clear, dog. Me. But, I got the day off work, though. I go ahead and log that one in. Log that one in. Have y'all been following LeVar Ball, Lonzo Ball's dad?
Cannot win with him.
The Bama's just doing too much. Talking about his kids need $1 billion shoe deal, and that back in his day he would have gave Mike buckets, and Bama can't see him, and all like dog, shut up, dog.
See, I put his stat sheet up from college.
What was the stat sheet?
2.2 points per game. 2.3 assists, or 1 assist, 2.3 rebound.
So basically, the Bama he just trolling, dog. Clearly he just trolling. But he better chill out, young, because the jump may come back to haunt him, young. It's a new day. As soon as you start talking about money while your kids are still in school, shoe deals and stuff like that, they're going to start UCLA investigation. Did his kids get paid to go to school there? If they, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Just got to fall back, dog. I guess, but I guess you would be the same way with your kids too. If your kid was a cooker.
No, I would not. No, not like that, dog. Come on, man. He's doing just way, way, way too much. No, Harold, if your kid was, you know what I'm saying, he was vicious, would you be on TV every day talking about like how his father's talking?
Nah, dog.
No,
his father's going ham too.
This just tells, like, when you look at what he did in college, that explains everything. He was not a cooker. So he's basically living vicariously through his kids. Like, he's talking about $1 billion. That's not even his business. How you gonna force your kids to sign a combined shoe deal? Like, just think about this man was trying to live his like athletic dreams through his
kids.
He's
an idiot. Don't listen to this. He's an idiot.
This Bama is the new Gilbert Arenas, dog. He OC, dog. He got to calm it down. this tournament time and stuff like that. Just chill out. He don't need to be in the news. But it seemed like he feeling himself, young. He already been I think, didn't he say something to Charles Barkley or something, or take a jab at one of them? So if people responding, people listening, he just gonna keep doing it, dog. You know how that go. Everybody searching for their 15 minutes of fame. And the fact that he's being talked about nationally, I'm sure that Jones just making him feel like that dude. So,
but that's when the stories come out. Like from the past, like girls you used to run around with or dudes you used to be cool with, like those stories find their way to the open market when you put yourself out there. Like,
yeah, might want to just fall back, bro. Just fall back.
Yeah, he's putting him in the spotlight unnecessarily. It's gonna come
unnecessarily, dog. Just chill. Let him let him make it to the league first. Right. Let him get to the league first before you start this. Cause young, if the league do, they blackballing 101 is what they do, dog.
Turn his sons into memes.
Exactly, dog. It can happen at the blink of an eye. Next thing you know, them Bama's can't even sniff the league.
Yeah.
NBDL after NBDL team. Next thing you know, they over here signing up with me at the Bethesda Rec Jump. So, just chill, Pops. Just chill. Speaking of chilling, can somebody get this Bama Ezekiel Elliott, dog? What is he doing? The Bama tried to pull the strap off the young in the exposure.
What? Not tried to, Harold. He did it.
He did do it, young. Bama's thirst levels is out of control, dog. You're an NFL superstar. You got to fall back, bruh. What is you doing? And he got a pendant. They still, this Bama don't know they did an E60 on him already. He ain't learned his lesson.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They did an outside of lines jump like way after. Like this is like towards the end of the season where they did outside of lines on him. I'm like, this whole situation is supposed to be, taken care of. And they're still talking about it. So they're looking for any little thing for him to do to like suspend this guy.
You already know.
And he out there pulling out, crop tops and whatever. And
but this is
on a pirate. It's on a pirate ship. What was he sitting on, bro?
Yeah, the man was on a pirate ship. What was this? What was this for? What is this for?
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day, dog. This man looking like he a regular citizen, dog. Like you can't be out here doing this, dog.
Oh my gosh, man.
And it's the thing, especially when you're an NFL superstar, like something like this can turn into a lawsuit at the snap of a finger. Just from just a picture. Somebody to see the jump, like, hold on, young, that's Z. I'm like, you can get money. And
or talking to the girl, get her head.
Yeah,
wrapped.
dog.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It could just happen so easy. And if you Jerry Jones, this is really alarming to me at this point because it's clear that the Bama just.
You saw him in the picture with the girl, one by his crotch and the other one.
He do. Jerry do. I mean, clearly, but that's what I'm saying. He needed, like, I feel like with Dez Bryant had his little troubles, you know what I'm saying? Him wrecking his mom and all that other crazy stuff. And then they kind of got it under wraps a little bit. Like they got it together. You ain't heard Dez, he been chilling. And maybe that comes with age and maturity too. But unless they don't care, unless they gonna get AP, I mean, Ezekiel Elliott,
he's gone for a game.
Dallas Cowboys, they need this Bama to be successful or to have success going forward. Dak is good, but let's not get it twisted. It starts with Ezekiel Elliott. So you need to get him a chaperone, get him a, somebody to just hold his hand. Cause stuff like this, dog, it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well.
He better chill. Let's just put it like that.
He got chill, dog.
He underneath that microscope right now, so.
Is he getting a game at least? At least a game.
But not for that, because supposedly they said that the girl came out and said, it was all good, and she hung out with him afterwards and all that type of stuff.
Oh, okay.
So
the pregame. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So
I hope so, dog. It's Bama, you gotta watch yourself, bruh. You gotta watch yourself. You're not a regular dude out here,
They had some group that came, maybe Ultraviolet or something like that. Some alleged women's group who were saying that was sexual assault and all this other kind of stuff.
Well, the thing is that is sexual assault, but
it is, dog. You seen the video?
Of course, I've seen it. Like, it's definitely sex. But the thing is, if she doesn't say it is, then if she was cool with it, then
but it's
that's
in public,
it.
though.
Well, that's what
on video. You know how the league is with video. They went Ray Rice from a 2-game suspension to out of the league forever.
Yeah, but that's because he was bodying a youngin in the elevator like that.
But I'm saying just the video like that.
The video took it up a whole new level.
It did take it up on that level.
But she make them feel like they have to do something, so it's not like they're ignoring women altogether.
Now, if she would have came out and complained and said, how dare he? I didn't consent for him to do that, yada, 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 then, it would have been more than 1 game. It'd have probably been 4, maybe 6, and then, try to appeal and get 4, like that type of joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know how people do, too. They come over, excuse me, let me talk to you, pat her on the back, like, you can make $10,000. Well, how can I do that? Just press charges. You don't even have to go through with it. Just make a statement. You don't have to go through with it. They just fishing for anything. The story alone gets money. You know what I'm saying? It's clickbait. So
ridiculous.
It's a new day, dog. Elliot Young, you gotta protect your neck, dog. Like Wu-Tang say, dog, protect your neck, Slim. Out here, it's dangerous. Speaking.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, D.
Nah, I ain't gonna. I was about to say something. Go ahead.
Speaking of protection, Scotty Too Hottie is fired. Now, when this firing went down, this jump was just like, it was disheartening to me. Shout out to Sports Reality show with my man Jeremy. I was on it yesterday, and I was just talking about like how when this jump happened, I was just so blown, dog. Like, this is the best thing that happened to the Redskins franchise in eternity, since the beginning, since forever, dog. And just to get rid of the dude after 2 years, dog. 2 years. And right back to square one, dog. Negative square one. How does this happen, dog? How does this happen, Ern?
What happens is people will do stuff, or like a kid, for example, will do something, and if the parent doesn't do anything about it or there's no reaction, they'll do like a little bit more and a little bit more. And it's kind of like a behavior that the fans have tolerated, so I don't understand why everybody's bent out of shape now. Like when the leaks and the slander and the smear campaigns came out about other people, it was okay as long as they didn't like that person. But because everybody liked Scott and felt like he was doing a good job, now all of a sudden all this stuff is off limits. Redskins fans get exactly what they deserve. And they're going to keep putting money in Dan's pockets and putting up with the foolishness, so why not?
Never-ending saga, dog. Never-ending saga.
Yeah.
Then they throw out the Mike Mayock. Come on, dog. Is Mike Mayock, he ain't stupid. He ain't messing with the Redskins organization.
Dan does have a check, though. That's the difference. Like, people always saying they're not going to work for him, this, and that, same with Marty Schottenheimer. Dan will cut you a check that nobody else is going to cut you. And it's the same with Floyd Mayweather. It's like, you're going to get the biggest check you're going to get in this business. So are you going to say, no, I'm not taking it? Yeah, you take it.
I don't know. I think he likes what he does, possibly. There's less headache and stress. I mean, think about it. You working for the Redskins.
How much is he making?
I don't know. I don't know what his salary is.
Mike Mayock making a pretty penny, dog. He's not hurting.
Making Dan Snyder general manager money. I guarantee you he's not making
he's probably not making that much
over the next 3 to 4 years.
I want winners.
But the thing is, to me, what's the point of having Mike Mayock? Because you had probably one of the best GMs in terms of like player evaluation, in my opinion, in the league, in Scott McLuhan, and you kind of like just pissed that away for what? Like, because Bruce Allen didn't like him? It was something wrong with him and Bruce Allen, because first of all, it never makes sense to me to have
president and a general manager.
Yeah, to me it's like redundant. It's like overlap. You can't have both. Exactly. To me, you have one or the other, and I think that's what happens. And the GM gets put in a spot where he really can't be a GM, because at the end of the day, he's reporting to the president, or the president has the final say on who to draft, who to pick, you know what I'm saying, free agency. He doesn't really have that full autonomy to do what he wants to do. And so to me, it's never a good idea to have someone like, hey, if you're going to have Bruce be what he is, you can't hire a GM in that situation, in my opinion, and him be a GM. He's just going to be a glorified scout.
But remember, they didn't want to hire a GM, but they were forced to because of the situations they kept ending up in with Bruce making the picks and being in charge.
Then you got to get rid of Bruce.
Dog, I'm just mad. These Bammers be lying too, dog. They be lying. If Scott McLuhan, I want y'all to hit it. The fans, y'all gotta put on your thinking caps, young.
Bro,
don't just be idiots,
about,
please. If Scott McLuhan was going and showing up in the locker room drunk, as they saying that this Bammer was in the locker rooms drunk.
Gosh, man.
After games,
where reporters be at, where possible fans, people close to the players. Dog, you mean to tell me not one Bama realized this Bama was drunk?
Right.
And now all of a sudden this is a story. What? Dog, you have to be a complete idiot if you believe that. A complete idiot.
Right.
Like,
if you think about the Sarkisian case, the reason is because how that Bama was in like the banquets or whatever. Like the Bama was visibly like intoxicated. Like it's none of you didn't get none of them stories from nobody coming out the Redskins camp and tell all of this at the end.
So it's a slander campaign. We know what it is, but this is the thing. These Redskins fans, young, and that's why I'm about to just be done with these Bammers because they just keep lying to the people, dog. And people will just be like, yo, it'll be okay. Just pump the brakes. They do one little thing.
That's not true, though. I'm speaking to a lot of Redskins fans, and they are not happy. Like, I've never seen this many disgruntled fans this part of the season already. Like, seriously. People are upset. And they know it's Bruce Allen. Everybody knows
Bruce Allen got to go, dog. When did Bruce Allen jump Ernie Grunfeld, dog, on my hatred scale, dog? This is ridiculous. Get Bruce Allen out of here, dog, today. This Batman he looked like a dummy. Look at him just look at his picture, dog. He don't know what he's doing. Batman is single-handedly ruining the franchise. And Dan is responsible for letting them do it.
But he's a dummy too. He don't know what's going on.
It's true.
He's going to tie himself to the closest dude who lets him have the most pull and say in football stuff. And it's always dummies like Vinny and Bruce that don't know themselves what the hell they're doing when it comes to football.
So then these Bammers, they signed Terrell Pryor.
That was a good pickup. Which was a good pickup.
And but it's like you go to a barber shop, the Bama cut your hair, mess your lineup up, and then try to hang you a lollipop out the door, yeah. It's like, come on, dog, you screwed my lineup up. What am I gonna do with this lollipop, dog? Like,
your mouth and shut up. That's what he wants you to do.
That's where we at right now with the franchise, dog. We got I don't even know who's pulling straight, who's making the call on the players, dog. Who's bringing the players in?
Bruce Allen and was it Scott Schaefer, the cap guy, is the one negotiating with the agents about the contracts for the free agents.
Then word on the street is, and young, this is just making my blood boil. These Bammers at the combine have interviewed 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Let's go, champ!
And the quarterbacks that these Bammers decided to interview.
Trubisky.
No! Why would you interview this back? He's trash.
Hold on,
he's not trash.
With blue eyes,
He's not trash.
He's not trash.
Matter of fact,
Bama does not need to be. We don't need to be wasting no interviews on this Bama.
You know what's funny?
Who don't know what a hard count is?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That is hilarious.
Yeah, when I saw that on NFL Network, I was like, what? Not NFL Network, it was ESPN, and Gruden was like, go on too. Bama said, huh?
He said blue 85 twice instead of the actual snap count. He said we're going on a hard count. He said, okay.
Blue 85.
Blue 85. I said, what?
Bruh, I play in a low level tag beltway league, and I know you fucking hut. Come on, man. How do you not know the basics? Like, that was like mind scratching. Like, I was scratching my head like, huh? And he's supposed to be your top quarterback, supposedly? Hey, look. What's funny about the Trubisky thing is he is kind of in a Kirk Cousins mode.
He is Kirk Cousins.
If you think about it. So he kind of makes sense in a sense. Because he's good at throwing those really short, 10 yards and shorter routes. He's good at throwing those. And that's why his percentage is so high of completing passes. Anything beyond 20 yards, though, I'm just like, ugh.
Cannot win with him.
But who was the other y'all looking at besides Trubisky? Who was the other one?
The dude from Pittsburgh, Nathan Peterman. Yeah, Nathan Peterman.
Yeah,
that bad, my dog.
That's a project, though. He ain't no day one.
I just.
They didn't talk to Kaiser or Watson.
Dog, they need to be doing everything in their power to ship Kirk Cousins out of here and get something for him. Because if this Bama plays this year on this tender and we get nothing for him, this is to be a wash. It'll be a wash.
You hit a last he started telling today?
What last?
Yeah.
Listen.
So you know how the stories came out talking about he was demanding a trade and all this other kind of stuff, right? Talking about he didn't want to be here. Yeah. He wasn't going to be here as long as Bruce here. He talking about he didn't hear anything about that until he was in a shoe store with his wife trying on shoes. and some kid said, "What's up with you demanding a trade?" He said that was the first time he ever heard of it. This dude is such a
yo. These Bama's young. This joint is House of Cards, dog, football style, young. Because these Bama's all they do is just be lying, dog.
He's an idiot.
Just tell the truth. Tell the truth.
You know what's funny too about this draft is this is probably one of the first drafts that I can think of that doesn't have it has a lot of the top quarterbacks are black. So that's why they're probably looking at. Yes, you gotta look at Peterman.
And the jump makes me so mad and angry that every time these alias Bamas be talking about quarterbacks, they bring up these same names. They don't talk about the good quarterbacks. They talk about these middle of the road rack. These Bamas are terrible. We can put them out there with our quarterbacks in a flag football and won't none of them get a look over some of the Bamas out there. I'll play right now. And I'm not even lying. I'll pick Juan Dixon over Mitch Trubisky right now, dog. He playing a flag football joke. And that Bama got an arm. I'm just letting you know. I'm not even trying to slice it.
Dixon.
No, I would, dog. I'm not even lying.
My God. It's
ridiculous, dog. It's ridiculous. And we can see it. And then next thing you know, these Bamas be backups forever. Like the league just love drafting forever backups, dog. Like they just be like, all right, yeah, we'll be a backup for the next 13 years. And just somehow he just be on a roster. I don't get it, dog. I don't get it. The other signings the Redskins made, Terrell McClain, Stacey McGee.
Terrell McClain was a good pick. He's like a low level. He's better than what people are, I think. He's a D tackle, so nothing really sexy about that. So that's why people are not talking about it.
It probably would have helped a lot more if they didn't let Chris Baker walk.
Well, that was, to me, didn't make any sense. But anyways, who was the other guy? Schweringer, right? Y'all got...
Yeah, we got Schweringer.
That was a good pickup, too.
Yeah, 3 years, 13 and a half mil.
Yeah, that ain't... That's the league. That's the league. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you re-signed Vernon Davis, so you got the insurance.
You gave him too much. 3 years, 15 mil. Come on, dog.
They got to get the money to somebody. They can't get nobody else to come in here and listen to Bruce, dumbass.
No, but this is the thing. If they would have brought in, all right, let's say, this is another thing too. If the Redskins sign a quarterback or they draft a quarterback that's Kirk Cousins-ish, he's going to get paid if Kirk Cousins doesn't get paid. Because they're going to try to avoid these old retroactive moves so they don't get into the same predicament that they got in this time. They'll try to be all ahead of the curve. And it's just, man, it's a debacle, dog. It's a debacle. I think, it's fun. I'm actually happy for Deshaun Jackson and Chris Baker and Pierre Garçon, all these Bama's who get a chance to leave. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for him, dog, because this franchise is in shambles. It's in shambles. So I don't even know where we go from here, dog. I don't know where we go from here.
Real quick, I don't know if you heard or not, but they were saying reportedly now that the Browns may be making a run at Cousins, possibly. I mean, they got all those draft picks stockpiled, so everybody was kind of thinking, oh, they may go after Garoppolo. Now they're saying they may make a run at Cousins. So,
which makes more sense to me because Garoppolo, I can't see giving up.
I can't either. Not for 2 games.
Yeah, and he plays for the Patriots. Everybody wins with the Patriots.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if the Browns is willing to do it, this is full circle for us, dog. Full circle. If we could get this Bama up out of here and get that pick that the Browns have, I'll take that joint in a heartbeat.
The 12? Because I know they're not giving up the 1 for.
I mean, I would take the 12 too, dog. You gotta take something. You cannot let this year go through with Kirk Cousins on your roster, and then after next year, you absolutely got nothing for him. So you have to take what you can get, and that might just be the best that you can get. You gotta take it, dog. You gotta take it. I mean, I hope that that's the case. I hope the Browns are really pushing I hope the Skins are on the phone. Who's on the phone, dog? Is it Doug Williams, big-headed? Dog.
Nobody, the agents before free agency started said after they pulled that move with Scott, he was telling a lot of their players not even to go to the Redskins.
Yeah.
They don't know who's running the show over here. Why would you come here and hinge your future on idiots and you don't even know who's in charge?
You don't know. How can I? Who am I supposed to go to negotiate? I don't blame Kurt going to Dan Snyder. Who else is going to negotiate? He don't know who to negotiate his contract with. Can't go to Scott. Bruce. Who's in charge?
So it's okay for the quarterback to go around, management and go straight to the owner? That's okay now?
Message.
Nah, it's really not. But there ain't nobody making a fuss about it. When Robert was here, though, that would have been cause for major concern. That would have been they would have wrote a whole story in the Washington Post on that alone. So, who knows, dog? We know why. Well, on to some March Madness. It's that time of year. Who would have thought it would be snow on the ground at this time? But we are finally in March Madness. For those of us, I don't even watch college basketball like that, and that should be a shame. But that's why we had to bring in an expert analyst on March Madness onto this show. Please give it up to our guest, George Barnett, writer for everydayismarch.wordpress.com. And our expert for today on March Madness. What's up, George? What's good, bro?
Nothing much. Just enjoying this Florida weather. How you doing?
What's up, dog? So, how were there any surprises with the selection that came out with all the teams that's on there? Was there anything that just kind of stood out to you with like what are they doing on here, or were the number one seeds what you expected to be on the bracket, or what was something that surprised you?
I think they got the selections right. I think all the 68 teams that got in, I think they were all deserving. I don't have any issue with that. I don't have any issues with the number one seeds. I think there are a few teams where I think were seeded too high, like South Carolina and Minnesota. I think there were a few that might have been too low, like Wichita State, Middle Tennessee State, and Oklahoma State. But other than that, I thought the committee did a solid job.
So with the bracket, every year people looking for, their bracket, what they call them, bracket busters. They're trying to find out what team will be that underdog that will make it to the Sweet 16 or possibly the Elite 8. Like, what's a team that you think could upset or even go far in a tournament that's a lower seed on the bracket?
The team I just mentioned, Middle Tennessee State, they upset Michigan State in the first round last year. They brought a lot of people back, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country. I thought that even had they lost their conference tournament championship, that they would have gotten an at-large bid anyway. So I was very surprised to see him as a 12 seed. I think they're in a good pod. They play Minnesota first. I think this is a game they get, and then they would get the winner of Butler or Winthrop. And I think Butler isn't as good a defensive team as they have been in years past. And I think Middle Tennessee can exploit that. Also, a team that I'm going to see down here in Orlando, Florida Gulf Coast is back in the tournament. And the Florida State game will be tough for them. But I do think if they win that game, they will be either Xavier or Maryland. Athletically, they are as athletic as any team in this tournament. If you watch them play, they get up and down. They got some fantastic athletes. Florida State might have a little too much size for them. But if they can get past Florida State, I see them in the Sweet 16. Also, another team you probably could look out for is Nevada. Out there in the Mountain West. The Mountain West has had a couple down years, but Nevada's a really good team. They led that conference wire to wire. And Iowa State has had some disappointing outcomes in the tournament here, and that's they play in the first round. So those are the three teams that I think can make some noise.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm gonna take all your advice. I'm filling out my bracket right now. I'm putting all them Bama's right now. Yo, let's talk about some of the local teams here. You know, we got Maryland, of course. We got Virginia. But before we get to them, because they're in the tournament, let's talk about your Hoyas, dog. Is it time for JT3 to go, man? He living off the legacy right now, because they having some disappointing seasons, man. You follow them closer than anybody I know. So what's going on with the Georgetown Hoyas, man?
So I don't think he's going anywhere this season. Although he should. It's as from you know the surface level, which is the performance on the court. It's even worse than that. Alonzo Mourning's son just announced that he's going to transfer. This is Alonzo Mourning's son. They had a top 30 recruit in point guard Tremont Waters, and over the weekend he requested out of his letter of intent. There are at least two other guys who are going to transfer. So it's kind of a disaster. It's not that he's living off, well, he is living off the legacy. The administration of Georgetown are afraid of life without the Thompsons. But I think what they need to realize is life with the Thompsons right now is not sustainable for the future of the program. And another coach might fail, but I think the chances are much greater that another coach can get it turned around than JT3. I don't think he's a bad coach. I just think it's gone stale. He's burned some recruiting bridges here. I think he can maybe go back to the Ivy League, go back to another smaller East Coast league, and I think he could be really successful. But I think at this level, I think he just needs to move on, and Georgetown needs to move on from him.
Well said, dog. I mean, I know it's tough seeing Georgetown, like especially growing up with Iverson and all that, and now these Bama's is just like they're missing the tournament. This never would happen, dog. Like it's unfortunate.
It is.
But hopefully, you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and they can find out and how to do something, dog. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from John Thompson Sr. and what he's did for the program and stuff like that. But, you know, something's got to give, dog. Something's got to give. But on to a more brighter note, the Maryland Terrapins. Well, what do you see from these local teams that are in the tournament? You got UVA. A lot of them say they got an offensive game, but they got the defensive game is tough, but the offensive game is weak. You got Maryland, who, you know, they hit or miss a lot of time, but they got a good draw in this bracket. And who else we got in this area? Yeah, I mean, those two primary teams. Well, what do you see either one of them doing in the tournament this year?
So I think Maryland is in more trouble than Virginia is. I don't think they've been playing well. I thought on Friday night against Northwestern, when Northwestern hit them in the mouth, they flinched and they backed down. I don't think they responded well to a run Northwestern made in the second half. I saw them a few weeks ago against Iowa. I don't think they defended well enough, and I think they're playing a Xavier team that has they got Trevon Blewett back healthy. They've kind of stopped feeling sorry for themselves after the injury to Edmund Sumner. I think they're playing well. I think they're going to beat Maryland. Unfortunately, Virginia, on the other hand, I think they got a good draw. A lot of people are picking UNC Wilmington as an upset pick, but their coach, Kevin Keats, he's a disciple of Rick Pitino, and Virginia has owned Louisville since they got into the ACC. So I think they'll win that game, and I think in Florida and East Tennessee State is also in that pod, and I think East Tennessee State will actually beat Florida, but lose to Virginia. Florida is without their big man, Egbuno. He's one of the best big men in the country, and they definitely have missed him. So I think Virginia is going to get to the Sweet 16 again this year.
We'll definitely have to get you back on again when we get to that Elite Eight, Final Four mix, and really have you call who you got winning the national championship this year. Is there anybody stands out you got winning the whole thing?
So I'm not super comfortable with these picks, but I do think it's going to be an all Wildcat final. I think it's going to be Arizona versus Kentucky. I do think Kentucky's going to win it. I like the way they're playing right now. They're defending a lot better, and they just got De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk. They got guys who can just go get it. They got two guys who can go get it. They are certified pros. I think if you got pros on your team, you can do some damage. So that's why I'm picking Kentucky.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you for the time, man. Thank you for joining us and sharing your wisdom and knowledge on March Madness so that our fans could, at least feel like we know what we're talking about. So when I win my bracket this year, I'm going to definitely give you a shout out.
Perfect.
For helping me.
Don't.
Yeah, man. Nah. I feel confident in my bracket. I had Kentucky. I know Kentucky. I know Duke being in the mix. I know Villanova. Those guys. What are your thoughts on before we let you go? What are your thoughts on Lonzo Ball and UCLA and that kid? Is he the real deal, or is he just?
I think he's certainly the real deal. I just don't think UCLA defends well enough. Winning a tournament, teams that don't defend don't win. And I mean, you're not going to be on your A game for 6 straight games. You're going to have a game where you got to tough it out, and I'm not sure UCLA can do that. When he had a little injuries to his hand in the Pac-12 semifinals, and Arizona just took their lunch, and so I just don't see it. I think I do see a rematch with Kentucky in the Sweet 16. I think Kentucky will get them this time.
All right. Well, thank you, man, for your input, your insight. Check out George Barnett, writer of everydayismarch.wordpress.com for your March Madness insight, information, help you fill out your bracket.
Make sure you're definitely paying attention this week, because I will be at the site live in Orlando on Thursday and Saturday covering it. So I'll be watching Maryland and Virginia this weekend live.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be tuned in, dog. All right, man. Have a good one. Enjoy that nice, sunny, hot, warm weather, man.
All right.
All right, bro. Take it easy. Thank you guys who tune in to the Blksports980 Podcast, representing the DMV. Right quick, just want to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play. Make sure you also follow us at Blksports980 on IG, Twitter, and Facebook. You can even email us your thoughts, show topics, and more at Blksports980@gmail.com. Last but not least,
Let's spread this word. Now back to our show.
Yeah, man. March Madness. Y'all ready, man? We got the March Madness challenge going on. We filling out brackets this year.
You saw we put our mics on mute for that whole time you had them on there.
Hey, dog, we gotta do better, dog. Why we don't watch no basketball?
I want winners.
Why we don't watch these young boys, dog? We gonna watch the tournament, though. At least the Thursday and Friday.
It's a little personal for me. Once the players in college got younger than I was, I kind of resented the college game on that.
Yeah. I only watch like the main matchups, like the big time matchups, and I try to watch as many Duke games as I can. But I mean, outside of that, I'm not really checking for it. Like I've seen Lonzo Ball play a few times. But, I mean, I haven't seen the dude, what's his name, Josh Johnson at Kansas. I haven't seen them Bahamas play. So, you're right. We got to be more on it moving. Season.
Yeah, this young man. My bracket is a blank lottery ticket. Like, I'm just filling the jump out. I don't know who, whatever, dog. It's crazy. But my man George knows his stuff, though. That's clear. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, he definitely does.
So I appreciate him sharing that with us, dog. NFL moves. Lacey and Seattle. That's good? Or that's just
I think that's good for Seattle. Well, I don't know. I think Seattle will probably do better with a running back that had a little bit more quickness than Lacey.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed,
is Lacey washed, dog? Is he washed?
He's not washed. If you think about it, before he got hurt last year, look at Green Bay's offense, and the minute he got hurt, they struggled. And then, they turned it on as of late, especially when they got Christian Michael. But I feel like he's not washed. Yeah, he's a heavier back. You know what I'm saying? He does run a little heavy, but I don't think he's washed, though. But I don't know if he's a great fit for Seattle. He doesn't really fit Seattle's offense, in my opinion. That's just me.
Carroll said that he want him playing in the 240s. So, I mean, that's got to be a good look for him to hear. Because, obviously it seemed like that was an issue in Green Bay. Like, he liked to eat. As far as, he not the main back, though. I mean, even if he is, they still got Raws. They going.
Right. But he stays hurt, though. That's the problem with him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now maybe with Lacey, I mean, you really talking about 2 injured backs. So you just hoping that together.
Because pro size too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about pro size. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just hoping that
one of them
combination. Hit. That one of them hitting and they staying healthy, and somebody on this game, maybe next game, another guy on. But like the fact that you got 3 of them, that I think that's probably why they willing to take that risk, even though they got kind of like higher injury, history or whatever.
And does this mean Russell is going to take snaps more in the center this year? This shotgun?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Who knows, though? Who knows? That's still up in the air. The rich get richer. The Patriots somehow pull off a trade for Brandon Cooks. And they also pick up Stephen Gilmore from the Bills. Dog, these Bahamas, this is big for the Patriots, dog. Because they already have a system.
And they got Dwayne Allen. Don't leave him out.
And Dwayne, these Bahamas just stockpiling. I mean, after a season where they went to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, now they come off of that and then they make these free agency splashes, and they get Brandon Cooks, who I think is the hands down the best receiver for New Orleans Saints. But I guess.
But they were saying he didn't fit their system anymore, and that's why they were looking to trade him. And he fits New England's system perfect. A little short, quick, fast receiver. That's all they have in New England.
No, and he can take the top off.
That's what I'm trying to say. He is the perfect. He's like an Edelman. But he got top end speed.
Will.
So New England's offense is going to be ridiculous, in my opinion, unless something crazy happens with injuries. They don't have a first round pick, and they don't have a second round pick now because of that. But still, their roster is loaded. The only thing is now Malcolm Butler wants to leave because Gilmore got all that money, and I think Malcolm Butler is better than Gilmore, in my opinion. And
definitely more versatile.
Yeah. And everybody knows who Butler is. He's the guy that made that play in the Super Bowl on the 1 yard line that had no win. That
they told him.
Yeah,
they told him.
Oh, they know they. And the headset. All right, it's gonna be a headset. Round, watch the pick, get it. Because how many people get that play? But hey, instincts were on 9-9 if he did it on his own. And
that's why they don't care about paying him and letting him go, even though he's developed into a great corner.
He has.
He's a great corner. But I mean, if your greatest feat, they feel like they gave to you. You know what I'm saying? Like in the back of their mind, it's like your greatest play, your greatest height, I gave to you, son. So don't try to act like you just all pro. Yeah, exactly.
You need me.
I'm not rocking, We've seen it happen before.
Even outside that, but he plays good defense. When I watch him play like the top receivers, he plays them really well.
He's the only one on their squad that can play man. So whenever they have a man coverage call, he's always on the lead guy.
Yeah. I give him props for that. And of course, Dante Hightower, he's still out there. So not high. I'm thinking about the safety.
No, that's it.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah, that's his linebacker. Yeah. I think they're gonna pay him though. I think they'll find a way to pay Hightower.
So you think they go with Hightower over Butler? Because they
got Gilmore.
So you don't think they want the double shutdown, young, and they can't get somebody to.
You need linebackers. You need linebackers, though. You do. I mean, trust me. They know how to tread them and get squeeze toothpaste out the toothpaste bottle. But though, I mean, bringing on Stephen Gilmore, that's a relief. That provides some relief. You can have shutdown corners. But you don't have no linebacker. You can't get pressure on the quarterback. It's a fail. So. You know what I'm saying? I think they'll figure the way to pay Hightower, or figure that out. Or if not, they'll draft. You know what I'm saying? Or they might. I think the Patriots, they seem like the type of team when they got an eye on somebody they know is going to drop a few rounds to them, or in the second round, or whenever they can get them. Then they're willing to expend a part on their team. Like they'll be like, oh, that's expendable because we're gonna draft this guy that we know that we're gonna get. So, I don't know how that situation is gonna play out. Cordell Patterson to the Raiders.
Yeah, that's a good special team. That's a good special team.
That is a good special team. He was never a receiver. Like he never really could even though this past year he had a couple games where he was able to play receiver to some degree, but he's just not his strong suit.
He was good his first year in the league, and then after that, they said he couldn't run routes really well. I think he was just using his athleticism and his speed at first, and then he can't run routes, so that's why even North Turner couldn't use him. So it's bad when he can't use it.
And his hands is 50-50. Why do the Raiders love receivers with 50-50 hands?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, dog. Dolphin hands apply.
It's like, out Oakland, they always wanted that speed. It's like
you're right.
That's his thing. He wanted that speed, that excitement. It's kind of like everybody wanted to kind of bring that Golden State basketball before Golden State, but you got to have the personnel. Like you can't. You might have a fast receiver, but he also has to be able to catch the ball. You know what I mean? That's a major, that's a major key.
First attribute. Dolphin hands.
Can't catch that. Dog, where's Jay Cutler and where's Tony Romo going, dog?
Jets, man.
Yeah, I think the Jets.
Hold on. I said something about Jay Cutler the other day when I was on a sports show with my man Jeremy. I said that, and he agreed with me. Maybe you won't, Aaron. This is why I'm saying it. Maybe you won't agree. Jay Cutler to me is the type of Bama. He gives the amount of effort the team is. So if the team is a 66, it's only going to give you 66 effort. If the team is like 95%, like they got 95% talent on the team, he'll give you 95% like
That's
effort.
A fact. That's a fact.
So him going to the Jets is a fail because the Bama's only got 70% talent.
You gonna cut the check though?
Yeah, they gonna cut it.
All right. I mean, all right. Well, I'm glad that we agree on that.
That's the most accurate thing I've ever heard you say about Jay Cutler. He's Randy Moss at quarterback, and you can't be that way at quarterback. That's why people don't like him, but that's who he is.
No. That's hilarious.
Tony Romo. In a potato chip neck.
Put him in the booth.
Yeah, I think
about football.
Yeah, I think at this point he may end up just being the backup to Dak. I mean, for them to cut or trade him, they don't really save a whole lot in their cap.
Plus, they not trying to release this Bama. This Bama Jerry said he was going to be released last Monday.
And then
what is they doing?
First, they were saying they're going to release him. Then they were saying they're going to trade him. And none of that happened. And now I think the market's kind of dried up because there isn't any. He wants to go to a team that's going to be a contender. So, like, going to the Browns, they need a quarterback.
Houston still available?
Houston ain't a contender. They ain't beat New England. Sorry, even with Romo, ain't happening.
But at least his road to the playoffs, will
ends
be
in the first round. Ends in the first round. I mean, Houston may be his best bet.
But Houston gave New England. They gave New England a run for their money without Tony Romo, with Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, trash. Yeah, you're right. That's true.
I mean, they don't get him. Romo don't get him over the hump.
I don't think so, man. I don't trust Houston at all. Their coaching. That's the part I don't trust. So I just can't see them out coaching New England.
They did last playoffs. If it wasn't for a lack of quarterback, they would have.
Yeah. Brock, you're right. Brock is the one that really killed them because their pass rush was getting there. That was the difference. Their pass rush was the key. And Brady under pressure, he'll cave and start to complain to the ref when he getting hit, looking for the flag. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. We're gonna see. Hopefully, he get released from jail in the next week or so. I don't know. Maybe they'll hold him up to the draft and see how that shakes out. Speaking of draft, we down to the final part of our show. We're gonna look at these. I hope y'all been looking at these wide receivers.
I hope you've been looking at them. I hope you've been looking at the tape, bro.
Dog. Well, last week I was on my deathbed, and I finally, what I'm saying, I'm back. So I was looking at the tape. I've been people to tape. Let's start with, since we kind of ended.
This is the first thing. Is it assumed that we all have the same wide receivers as the top five? That's the first thing, because that may not be the case. This receiver draft is kind of deep, in my opinion.
That's true. So let's do this. Let's talk about the three clear cut Bammers who are definitely on everybody's top five, because there's three Bammers on here
off the rip
have to be on your top five.
Off the rip.
All right.
So is that a fact though?
That's a fact. That's a fact. Mike Williams, Corey Davis, and John Ross.
But John Ross isn't clearly everybody's top three.
But I'm saying we know football. Okay, we evaluate talent.
You're not talking about other people, Eric. We're talking about OSS. This is OSS we're talking about here. Okay?
Come on, dog. We ain't them other guys, dog. Them don't know. Yeah. So them three right off bat. We can talk about them, and then
toss up after that.
It's a toss up because I'm with you.
I was struggling with that too.
Cooper Coop, he not on my list, dog. I'm sorry. The Bammers, I can find him. I can find him at Walmart, dog.
All right, come on. Let's
I can find him in his hands at Walmart, dog.
Nah.
I'm packing the truck. I can find him unpacking the truck out Walmart somewhere.
Stop.
I'm about to cry.
Come on, son.
All right, dog.
This Batman Harold be out of order, man.
All right, so I'm just gonna say, all right, top three. No order. Mike Williams. Okay, we like him. To me, he's my version of AJ Green. Can locate the ball, high point, can jump, can just he's a ball hawk. Like, he's a ball hawk, and he has good speed. A little fragile. AJ Greenish, fragile a little bit to me, but at the next level, I think that he will. He's somebody you could draft, and he could make immediate contributions to your to your team, you know, at the wide receiver position.
See, I don't know if I had Mike Williams that fragile like that. Like how you make him. I thought that Bama.
I'm not. So when I say fragile, I mean I'm saying league fragile.
But hold on, did he have injuries in his collegiate career that made you think that he would be injury prone in the NFL?
Well,
I'm going. He was taken in the national championship.
No. But here's the thing. I'm not saying that the Bama's fragile. What I'm saying is
that's what you're saying.
I'm saying the Bama took. Look. Okay. Let me preface this. Maybe it's the eye test for me. Maybe the hits that he took in the national championship game were concerning to me. And I think at the next level, like, cause for me, he did. No, he played through the jump. What I'm saying is Alabama and how they be striking on the football field is like the prequel to the league, how they be striking on the football field. Like they're the only team that I like say these Bamas be league striking out here, you know what I'm saying, as a whole, like for the majority of the squad. So he was taking some hits that were scaring me, and he toughed out, he toughed it through, he made it through and all like that. The Bama did not go through concussion protocol. I don't know what that is about. Though he should have, per my estimation. Yeah. So I'm saying at the next level, you know, will he be able to hold up to that? I don't know. That's something that concerns me. But can the Bama do it? Yes. And when I say AJ Green, I'm saying his game is like AJ Green. And AJ Green is also like kind of injury prone-ish. He's been able to play through these seasons, but he's been injury prone-ish too to some degree. So that's just my.
What you gonna say, Jeff?
No, I'm saying AJ Green just last year, dog. Check the numbers historically, dog. He's one of like a few receivers that come in the league 6 straight years. Like, you know what I mean?
He plays, but every year he has some injury. Every year he has some injury. It's every year it happens, dog. And I mean, I'm not saying he is long lasting or whatever. But go ahead. Go ahead with your assessment. I'm not gonna
I like Williams. You know what I'm saying? He's cool. I mean, the dude that I like the upside, like Corey Davis, young. Oh, y'all want me? You want me to go?
Yeah. Give your analysis on Mike. And you can talk about Corey next.
I think to me, Mike played like a real physical brand of football. Like he's not a small receiver. So like I said, when you say fragile, like to me, he's tough. And I think it proved it by the hits he was taking. I think, you know what I mean? A lot of the times, you know, a receiver can avoid those hits coming. In most cases, sometimes the quarterbacks put you in a situation where it's not much you could do. You got to make a business call. So I don't think that's going to be a norm where he's just getting hit like, you know, the hits that he took in the national championship. But he showed that if he does take a hit like that he's tough and he could keep playing. And so I like his real physical nature as a receiver. As far as Davis, he
hold on, don't go too far. Let Aaron. Let me.
My bad.
Yeah. Now you'll kick it off, Aaron. You want to talk about Williams? I haven't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I can't agree with Harold. He played every game last year. He was injured in 2015, but then before that, he played every game. So I see what Harold's saying. You can't play that way or take those kind of hits consistently in the league as you did in college and expect to be able to be on the field for 16 games. But he's a big boy. He's like 6'4", like 235, like 235, like 240. I think he'll be in the league, and he runs 4.5. So I like him a lot. He reminds me of Larry Fitzgerald. More than AJ Green.
I was gonna say the same thing. Less like AJ, because AJ has more speed than he does.
Right. I think Davis would remind me more of him than Williams would.
Like the Fitzgerald comparison is probably a little bit closer. With the only exception, a lot of times I don't see Mike Williams get a whole lot of separation.
Right.
And Fitz does it now because he's in a latter part of his career. But what he does really well though is he's able to track the ball, and he gets it at his highest point. He does the back shoulder fade joint like nobody else. The fade routes in the red zone, he be killing it. You know what I'm saying? He almost never gets tackled off the break. Like as soon as he catches the ball, he's looking to, shed that first tackler. You know what I'm saying? But I think he still needs to learn how to run that route tree though, because he relies so much on his size to like dominate the corner, because he can't beat him with lateral quickness or overall speed, but he kills him with his size. It don't matter. I'm open even when you're on me. That's kind of way he works. And I like Mike Williams, you know what I'm saying? And one thing I know Aaron probably doesn't care about this type of stuff, but he doesn't really commit to run blocking. Like you can't be 6'4" and like 220 something pounds and you can't block a cornerback or not even try to block a cornerback. Like he has to give more effort on those type of plays. But outside of that, I mean, he's definitely one of the top wideouts. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you, Jeff, kick off. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You want to get to Corey.
Go ahead, get to Corey. Jeff, it's on you.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, from like all everything that I watched the film, like I like, Corey Davis upside a lot. Like first of all, he has that speed. Like he's not Ross, but obviously he's way bigger than Ross. I think he's about 6'3", 6'4". Then, he's over 200 pounds, so he's a big guy. He attacks the ball at his highest point when you talk about a jump ball situation. And he shows explosiveness, all off the break, off the line, and makes big plays. I mean, like, it sounds blasphemous to say, and I'm not saying he's going to be him, but when you talk about, like, the competition that Randy Moss played at Marshall and he dominated, like, that's how it looked a lot of times for Corey Davis out there at Western Michigan. So, I mean, with his speed and, like I said, his measurables, I mean, I like his upside. His hands check out pretty good as well. So, like, to me, I like him a lot because, like I said, John Ross, I'm worried about, like, his size. And, I mean, like, it's nobody like that could stop him from getting off the line. Like, and I didn't really see him, like, in and out cuts and actually running routes. He's just faster than everybody in college. So I worry about that at the next level because as we mentioned last show, D Jackson is like the only one at that size that has consistently done it, a year in and year out. So yeah, my upside, like I'm liking Davis out of the receivers.
Well, Davis, I look at him. Well, the first thing that jumped out to me on his game tape was how competitive he was. Like, the Joker plays the game violently. Like, his stiff arms, he plays with that mean streak. Oh, I mean, like, overly physical. Like, even after the play, he's chippy. He's ready to get at it. You know what I'm saying? And people talk about, he has good top-end speed. His route running is better when he runs, like, those deeper routes, that 7, that 8, that 9 route. He's better at running those routes than the shorter routes. But he takes pride in blocking. I mean, I seen him one time he just pancakes guys, almost like that Heinz water blocking. Like, he takes a lot of that. And that's what I'm talking about, the competitiveness. No matter what he's doing on the field, whether he's catching the pass or whether he's blocking on the play, he is trying to, like, crush the other guy on the other side of the field. And that's why I think his upside, because of how competitive he is. I mean, people talk about he played in the Mid-American Conference. You know what I'm saying? And I get that. But he has to also work on better, the other route, the rest of the route tree. And he has to also work on, sometimes he had like lapses and dropping like some easy passes that I watched when I was watching his game film. Like, he'll just drop a pass for no reason. I'm like, come on, you got to make that catch. But when you watch him in a Cotton Bowl, I mean, he was ragdolling guys, and that's Wisconsin. So that shows you that regardless, him playing in the, like you were saying, Jeff, he played at a lower competition. But when he played in the Cotton Bowl, I mean, he was ragdolling kids like it was nothing. He was a man amongst boys pretty much in his conference. It was, you know what I'm saying? That's like me going to like a little, 110, you know what I'm saying, jumping on the field. I'll be stiff arming little kids.
Looking like Fournette out
there. Yeah, dog. I mean, go ahead, D.
No, I was just going to say, and also, too, when you look at his numbers, I mean, for 3 years, he had, 4,300 yards and 46 touchdowns. So he playmaker all day.
Yeah. I agree. Same sentiments. I would say, to me, he kind of reminds me of Amari Cooper with slightly better hands than Amari Cooper, but the same type of game. he definitely can catch the ball at the highest point. You know, a good route runner. I do think he needs to add, or work on some of the other routes. But if it's a 7 or a 9 or a post, you know what I'm saying, all day. The Bama's special. When I look at the guys, I'm trying to like see what they gonna turn into at the next level. Like who they gonna be at the next level.
I see more like Anquan Bolden than I see him more like an Anquan Bolden type because of his physicality. Like Anquan Bolden, we gotta realize before Larry Fitzgerald showed up in with the Cardinals, Anquan Bolden was doing his thing, and he was doing it. He was very physical in the way he plays, and he still plays that way now. And that's why I think he's still in the league, despite his lack of athleticism in a way it's kind of declined a little bit. But he's like in that kind of mode where he plays physical like Bolden. I'm not saying he is, but Cooper doesn't play physical like how he plays physical, in my opinion.
Yeah, he doesn't.
And Cooper's route running is on 99, in my opinion.
But look, and he's faster than Bolden. I mean, I think him and Cooper might be similar, but he might be slightly faster. I know they both were 4.
They resemble. I say like their games resemble. Like not from a physicality standpoint. Not from the physicality standpoint. I'm just talking about like how their games look. Like from just the pass catching standpoint. Like at the beard, like when they run their route. I mean, okay, Amari Cooper's route running is on 99. But his route running is not bad. Like his route running is good too, dog. Corey Davis' route running is good.
It's good, but a lot of times when you watch him like get in and out of his breaks, he wasn't really quick. It was almost like he had to stop to like get, you know what I'm saying, to like turn back.
Guys, especially with those double cuts. Some of those moves, like passing routes, are harder for them to run. Like those double moves, post corners, things like that. Sometimes are harder for those lanky guys to run.
Yeah. So that's why like guys like when you see guys like Julio Jones in the league that could run those routes, and he's a freak of nature because he's too big to be running routes like that, but he does it.
I mean, I agree with everything everybody said. I'm ready to get on to the guy with the 4.2 speed, though.
Okay. Go ahead. You start off then. You go ahead and kick it off with the John Ross, because I know you love speed.
I mean, you said it. The Bama has world-class speed, fastest 40 time ever, good hands, 17 touchdowns. The production's there. He does more than run the 9 route. I don't know what else you want to see from a receiver. Especially a guy this size. Normally they'll try to say, oh, you can only run the 9 route, or you can only throw him screens and stuff like that, or he's a gadget guy. He's not any of that. He's shifty. He uses his hands. He has good vision, can track the ball down the field. For me, I can't say he's number one because he's not, because Mike Williams for me is the automatic no-brainer. But right after that, especially if I'm a team that already has a 1A receiver, a guy with some size in the red zone, it's going to be real hard for me to talk my GM out of taking John Ross.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe at the next level he will be an X or Y receiver, or will he be a slot receiver?
See, I think he's going to get stereotyped because of his size, and they're going to try to throw him in the slot because that's the lazy thing for coaches to do. But I think he's an outside receiver. I think he has all of the outside skills that you would want. The only thing he doesn't have, of course, is the size. So, what you think, D? With the same question.
I feel like the thing that scares me about John Ross, and I think he may end up being a slot, he does run other routes, and I think the reason why he's able to run routes the way he doesn't run the routes really crisp, but what he gets away with is because of his speed. Defenders got to play that Mike Rump coverage, like
15 off.
Yeah, you can't get up on him because if you do, he's gone. Like he's, you know what I'm saying? And so it puts defenders in a bad position. And when you play off of him, he puts you in the mixer immediately. Like I see him, when he puts that 7 route, bro, you in the mix. Dude turned around, was like, where'd he go?
I mean, and I think all of that's fair, but we also have to, look at the fact that he played in the Pac-10, and they're not really known for defense out there. And like I said, when I watched the film, and I think he's gonna be good. And to answer both of you all's question, I think if you're a coach, you actually, in this day and age of football, you gotta try, and his production, you gotta try him out, outside first before putting him in the slot. Because if he is able to be explosive, then man. So I think you gotta start him out there first and kind of go from there. But the thing, like I said, that I worry about is in the NFL, like we obviously know those are the best players in the world. And so when you get to the next level, then he's not gonna have 15 yards, and those guys will come up and put their hands on him, because while he's 4'2",
they'll be on Sports Center. They'll be on Sports
Center. Maybe, but like I said, it's been other fast guys in the league. You know what I mean? Like where you thought that they were.
There's never been anybody this fast in the league.
But if somebody's 4'3" though, I mean, like that's like talking about. That's like talking about if you got versus if you got. I'm gonna say. I mean, that's like talking about if you got like 50 mil versus like 70. Y'all both Bamas could do the same thing. Like I can eat where you can eat. No. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing you can't do at that bill.
If I'm 4'2",
4'2" and 4'3" is not even the same, dog.
But you added the 3'8", Harold. I'm just saying.
I'm saying. An average Bama running 4'3" is fast. What cornerback in the league is running 4'3"?
But Harold, he's
these nuts. Got him.
You saying 4'2", I'm saying 4'3". That's 8/10 off. Like I mean, like
that's,
I said,
that's a lot though. Like, that's a lot when you talk speed.
But who's running at cornerback or safety in the league?
Oh, it's been other receivers that have ran 4'3".
No. What defenders are in the league?
My whole point is he's not the first to ever be as fast as 4'3". Like that's
I'm not saying it.
He's not 4'3", he's 4'2". So you're talking like.
All right. I mean, if y'all banking everything, all I'm saying is, dog, he's not the first fast guy in the NFL, dog.
No,
but he's the fastest guy. But look, you keep leaving that out. There's a lot of fast guys in the league. Yes,
think about Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson came into the league. He killed it too.
But when you talk about all-time greats that are fast, like from either, I guess, on the wide receiver or the cornerback position, you talking about Randy Moss, obviously a legendary, and if you go to the other side, Dion, they probably was both like 4'3s and that speed. My whole thing is, you can't just start naming off Hall of Fame Bammers just because they was fast.
So I'm not saying he's Hall of Fame. I'm just saying the potential of the speed makes it very difficult to guard. But
in college.
There were other running backs that ran. I mean, there's another receiver that ran 4'2" at the combine. We're not talking about him. We're not saying just because of the speed. We're saying with his skill set, with his production, and you add 4'2" to that, not 4'3". That's a world of difference in the league. It's just going.
That's special.
Nobody's coming up on him. We'll do that. Every time somebody plays him within 5 yards, me and Jeff will put a $20 bet on what's going to happen. You're going to see that free safety coming over behind him.
Every time.
You're going to see him on Sports Center.
I'm not talking about nobody guarding him one-on-one with no help per se. Like, if you going to come up, you got coverage.
But what you're talking about is dictating coverage. That alone, even if the quarterback doesn't.
That's worth for first-round pick.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That helps a team tremendously. To have a safety over one person at all times.
I mean, if he could play, you know.
But I'm gonna tell you this though. These are my biggest issues though with Raw, and I almost wouldn't draft him because of it. And this is it. Number one, he only had 1 year of production, like just it, only 1 year, and the main reason why is because of his injury history. And Harold talked about Mike Williams being, little knick-knack maybe here and there, taking big hits. But this guy has some serious injury. Okay, so let's talk about how he had a ACL tear in his left knee. And then he also had 2 meniscus tears in his right knee. And that's why he redshirted his junior year, because he had the injuries. And then he had a calf injury at the combine after he ran the 4.22. And then he just had the shoulder surgery recently.
Hey, Aaron, how you feel to leave all this out, man? Like, you didn't tell me all this,
What?
Dog, 4.22 erasing everything, erase your whole past, dog.
What I'm saying is...
Hold on, no, what am I missing?
Oh, what I'm saying is
all that injury history
is his injury history in his knees. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He had an ACL tear in his left knee, then he had 2 meniscus tears in his right knee.
I thought that was in high school.
No, it was in college because he redshirted his junior year. That's why he was a junior redshirt. And then he had the calf injury at the combine after he ran the 4.22. He didn't do anything else after that. And then of course he just had recently the shoulder surgery that he just did to help heal his shoulder. So the only thing that scares me about him is his injury history. It's vast. And with a guy that relies on speed and your knees already had ACL tear and 2 meniscus, it may not mean anything, but it scares me. You know what I'm saying?
Concern.
Yeah, that's my main thing with him.
You gonna draft him, do your due diligence to make sure.
Yeah, that's what scares me.
Especially if you're running that fast. If you're running that fast, like it's like seem like something bound to go wrong, or the cut or something you make. You moving at that type of speed.
Well, who we got left? We got who the last two?
I think the last two could be a toss up. I think there's a lot of guys that can get the kid from
Zay Jones, Curtis Samuel, Chris
now look,
Goodman.
and this is my thing. I'm a star. I like Zay Jones, Isaiah Jones. I like him a lot. I think the one thing about him is this: he is not like a John Ross. He's not gonna wow you with his overall speed. He's not gonna be like a Corey Davis or Mike Williams and overwhelm you with his physical attributes or his height. But he does everything else really, really, really well. You know what I'm saying? He's so consistent. You know what I'm saying? He catches the ball. He has great hands. He catches the ball at his highest point. He's versatile. He could play the X or the slot. Could he play both when he was at East Carolina? He knows how to run routes. He gets in and out of his breaks really good. You know what I'm saying? So he's a good route runner. He can get open downfield. He's a good downfield blocker. The one thing is he only played 1 year at the X receiver, which is the outside, and that was his last season. But he had, 158 receptions. So he broke the record in college for the most receptions in the season, and 1,700 yards and 8 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? So he showed that he can play that. Now he ran a 4.45, but when I look at him on film, he doesn't seem like a 4.45 to me, but I could be wrong. And when he played in the Senior Bowl, that's where he really kind of showed out. He had 2 crazy catches. One of them they couldn't review, and they said it wasn't a touchdown, but it was. And then the other one was a holding call on this other crazy catch that he had. And then of course you can talk about what he played again against weak competition. But then when he played the bigger schools like South Carolina, he had 22 receptions, 190 yards. You know what I'm saying? He played, Virginia Tech. He had 10 catches, 115 yards. You know what I'm saying? He played Florida, had 14 catches, 135 yards. So he's shown that against the bigger competition, it still translates. It's not like a fluke. So I like Zay Jones a lot, in the later rounds, maybe like a third or second round pick. He'd be a really good receiver to pick up. There's another receiver I'm surprised you ain't mentioned. Ain't nobody even talking about him, and I know why they ain't talking about him. But
who, Juju on this beat? Smith, Schuster.
Did you like him, Harold? You look at his game tape. That's how I felt. It
didn't make me like John Ross made me stand up. So I was like, oh, this Bama. He could do it, but Corey Davis, that Bama, definitely eye opener. But especially me, playing receiver and being athletic and stuff, it take you can't just be a regular Bama and you know what I'm saying, and just be oh, you caught the ball, all right, jump basket catchers, you know what I'm saying,
right.
We know the difference. So,
Jeff, did you have anybody else? 'Cause I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, you know what I'm saying? I checked them out. It's just like you said, it's just definitely later round guys, nothing, jumping.
The one guy, this is the one guy that they're not talking about, and I know why they're not talking about him, is D.D. Westbrook from Oklahoma.
Oh yeah. That Bama definitely had plenty of games where that Bama got his man. It looked impressive.
And bruh, Aaron, I'm surprised you ain't talking about him. He just did the pro day. He ran a 4.34, so you already know he had fast speed. You know what I'm saying? You already knew, because when you see him, he got that road runner speed, but he catch the ball, he gone. He gone. Like, he reminds me almost of, because how smooth he is, and he doesn't really lose a whole lot of speed when he's like cutting, and he has like, he has decent route running because of his quickness. Is almost like a blend of, I don't want to go too far, almost like a Marvin Harrison, because he's very small. He's only 5'11", 178, something like that. Real small frame. But Marvin Harrison was a really small receiver, and it worked for him in the league. And so when I look at him, I don't see him as a gadget guy. That's why I don't like the kid out of Ohio State, because he's like a Percy Harvin type of dude. That's why I didn't like those hybrid running back, wide receiver type. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to find places for them. But Dede Westbrook, bruh, this is the problem with him, though. They said the Bama in the interviews at the Combine did horrible, like in the interviews, like did terrible.
What'd he do, yeah?
Maybe he was just nervous, yeah.
Nah, they said it's a personality problem. Like they said this Joker did terrible with every team. Like it wasn't good at all. And
like one of them hood, like he go around orange and purple soda and was just eating rap snacks and just telling Bama.
You know he grew up in the hood. You know,
came to the gym later with a McDonald's bag, like, what's up, young? Y'all good?
You know how he became quick, Harold?
Kill, bro. Kill.
You know how he became quick?
How?
He said, this is how he knew he grew up. He said he played this game.
Nah. No, go ahead, dog.
That's the country.
Not that joint. He said they would play Rock Wars. Bama would be throwing rocks at each other, and like you had a duck little jump. Like, that's a good game.
Hey, y'all get that
Rock
Wars, Rock Wars, though.
Hey, yeah. Growing up,
Where he from, man?
I had to look. I forgot to see where he was from, bro.
That sounds like some Detroit stuff right there. Flint, Michigan.
Go ahead.
Hey, I was like, jeez. Juggles had to dodge stones, like Steven. Yeah. Like, so.
Bama got wheels, dog. Bama got wheels, though.
Bro, he got wheels. But the other problem is, of course, he had domestic violence.
This Bama head, dog.
He had two issues with that joint. Dog. Yeah, I think he
two issues.
He bit her one time.
He ain't bit no goddamn dog. Stop it.
He throwing rocks and biting. This nigga's a toddler. Get him out of here.
Hey, that Bama from I don't know whether it's Cameron, Texas, or whatever.
Oh, that's probably some back.
Yeah, that's a back joke. They got one grocery store, one bank, one gas station for 40 miles. Jump, yeah, dog. Can't do it.
But I know because of that. But supposedly him and his baby mother worked it out. I mean,
are they married? They ain't work it out.
They're not married. They're not
working out then, y'all.
I think she's sticking around because the payday's coming. Possibly, I don't know. You know,
like you better be quiet if you want this money.
Yeah, he needs to be. But they say he's doing so terrible in the interviews, it's killing him in his draft stock. So. But he's a playmaker. I mean, he had 1,500 yards receiving and 17 touchdowns. 17.
He'll be on the roster.
At Oklahoma, you know what I'm saying? So it's just
Dan Bruce.
No,
I know I can see him going.
What's going on now? No, you can't say that.
Yeah. Like if they properly vet it, you know what I'm saying? Everything
that's
like
the
they feel good, then giving them a second chance, then I'm all for him getting a second chance.
Because, bro, I'm trying to tell you, he's going to be a playmaker in the league.
No, this Bama, I'm looking at this jump. This Bama got 5 yards distance from Bama. Scared. Dog.
And when he catch the ball,
he running out the screen.
Bro,
and over the shoulder jumps, too.
But no one's talking about him. I'm just surprised, especially at Oklahoma. To me, Oklahoma, you know, you got Mixon. They had what's the quarterback name, Aaron? He probably, was it Westfield?
Baker Mayfield. Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, that's it, yeah. So, I mean, he was like one of the main focal points of that offense outside the running backs. I mean, he was killing it at wide out. So, I'm just surprised no one's really mentioning his name at all. And then maybe it's because of the domestic violence issues in his past and the bad interviews. And he didn't go to the combine. He didn't go to the Senior Bowl. that type of stuff is hurting them. So,
what kind of environment is Oklahoma breeding for these players?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. At a lot of them big schools, like we know Baylor, them Bama's is like the champions of like
they about to shut that program down.
Yeah.
They about to shut it down for real.
Like of doing dirt, these Bama's is undisputed.
About to shut it down for real.
So yeah, I don't know, like with what they got going, Aaron, because it's like you would think that obviously Stoops making big money, like he got a lot of control and power, so like you could easily like kick a Bama off a team or discipline them, but we know if a player can play, their leash is longer. That's just how it works out here in the real world.
That's real.
So.
And he ran a 4.34, so that's gonna really help him. That 4.34.
Yeah.
Oh man, so we did the quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers.
What's next?
We on the defense now, young. I think we looking at
tight ends or something.
ends,
man. Defense, man.
You know how?
All right, man. We'll do tight ends.
It's a deep tight end draft too. It's a deep tight end draft.
Yeah, we'll look at that. We'll put that. I'll figure out. Yeah, man.
We all about to run out of weeks though before the draft, so we might have to put O-line and tight ends together or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're probably going to have to lump some joints together.
Yeah, we might have to put a scrunchie on them Jones and put them together, dog. Follow us at Blksports980 the other side. Go check out the B-Roll Network where we got content up. Go check out Where's Buffy Podcast. Go check out my man Jeremy and Sports Reality Sports Show every Monday at 12 o'clock. He got a dope program over there. Man, it was a good day today, yeah. It was a good day today, yeah. I'm glad everybody's feeling better, dog. You know what I'm saying? Back.
How much snow y'all get down there, though, real quick? Man?
Not enough, dog. I'm going back to work tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. You're right about that.
But enough to keep me off the road right now from getting some shots up. So got just enough, dog. Just enough.
Yeah, the black ice is gonna be out there in fierce, boy.
Yeah, definitely will, young. I mean, 2 hour delay. That's all that means. Follow us at Blksports980. Fill out your brackets. We're going, man. I mean, we gotta do it now. We might do we might do like a little. Maybe not. Fill out your brackets.
Next time around.
Man, next year, man, we see y'all on 3365, man. Next year we got a bracket challenge set up for y'all, man.
Shut up! Give me a turn to speak! Fine, see? You do that to me. How does it feel? How does it feel to be told to shut up?
We've talked about it.
Let me speak. How does that feel? How does that feel?